Still ahead in the next half hour of reality chat, Kynt and Vyxsin dish all the details about their exit on Amazing Race. Designers test their sweet tooth on Project Runway, and we'll clear the air on the boardroom bombshell that hit the Celebrity Apprentice.
Welcome back to the show that keeps it real every single week. It's not the hills, it's reality chat. Thank God.
Yeah. Our next guest won Phil's prize for Best Dressed Team on The Amazing Race, and we agree. But because of an unfortunate U-turn mistake, they didn't end up winning the big prize. Take a look.
We're going to exercise the U-turn. Here we go, this way, baby. We're U-turning Nicholas and Dawn.
They were one of our favorite teams. Let's hear it for Kynt and Vyxsin!
Yes! Spice!
You guys are looking
right.
fabulous. Thank you for coming, and your chi-chis for coming, too.
Ooh, thank you.
Great to be
Hello,
here.
hello.
Hi.
So let's talk about you guys. I mean, comparatively, when you look at all the other couples, they're constantly fighting. You guys fought the least. And one of those times you called it performance art. It was airport, some strategic move you did at the airport so everyone else could think there was some contention between you two. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, what we noticed is we were able to secure a better flight than the teams before us. We didn't want them to know that it happened, though, so we tried to act upset, like, oh my gosh, tried to kind of mime, like, they didn't let us on, oh, so the team wouldn't be suspicious and come back around and say, hey, give us the flight that Kynt and Vyxsin got.
Well, you guys were not only good at performing at the airport, but you guys did yoga moves. You did your the sword tricks that you guys did, and it all kind of came from Star Wars, I hear.
Yes, the African
How flexible
dance
you are.
with the sticks was inspired by Star Wars. I was doing Jedi lightsaber moves. We're the first team in Amazing Race history to use the Force to win a detour.
Right. Did you use the Force during the yoga as well?
Oh yes,
Yes.
oh yes. For our balance, it worked perfectly.
Especially when you did that.
Right, what was that move?
within
They call it breath of fire, but it's crazy. All right, now let's talk about what happened with you guys with the receipts. You had the wrong receipts in one of the challenges, and I think this was one of the things that maybe did you in.
It definitely cost us some time. When I made my delivery, I picked up the receipt. I had the customer sign it for me, just like, you know, when you get a delivery in the mail, and took that with me, but I left behind the original receipt. I was just trying to be thoughtful.
She still shakes her head.
I was trying to be thoughtful for the customer. They need proof of delivery. I need proof of delivery, but the foreman of the task disagreed, and I had to run back and get the other
Were
receipt.
you UPSing it?
He really was.
He was.
And he tried his best. I felt so bad for him when he had to go back. I was like, oh.
And then not only that, but there was the other thing that might have done you guys in was you kind of U-turned the wrong people.
Oh, it was horrible.
You guys U-turned Nick and Dawn, but you probably should have U-turned Jen and Nate, who were behind you.
Yes.
The blonde fighters.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing was, from our perspective at that moment, one thing to keep in mind is a lot of times while you're racing, you don't know which teams are ahead, which teams are behind. You don't know if you're in front or if you're in the back. So, you know, we'd seen Nate and Jen pass us at the Flower Challenge. So we assumed they're ahead of us. We've got to go with another team.
Right.
You're the one team we know for sure not to U-turn, and it turned out they were the only ones behind us. So.
That you guys needed to U-turn.
Ah, yeah.
Right.
And let's talk about you guys going back to the disagreements. Vyxsin, talk to me a little bit about the car spat that you had and how that felt, because most of the time it's okay, and then that one time it was just...
Well, we got kind of lost getting to where we needed to be in the morning. So we had already been up all night long driving. And, you know, by the time the day even started, it had been about 35 hours since we had slept. It was bad. So I was like driving and like seeing like multiple roads and crying and being like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. And just kind of like swerving all over the place. And he was like, Vyxsin, stop this car. Because I was like, he's like, please don't. It was basically like, don't kill us, you know, and whatnot. And yeah.
And whatnot.
Please don't kill all of us in a fiery, metally, trenchy death.
It takes life endangerment for Vyxsin and I to lose our cool.
Yeah.
Our lives must be in danger.
Hey, listen, we haven't slept for that long, and I'm sure you guys hadn't eaten either.
No.
Yeah.
Which never helped.
You got to feed me like every 4 hours, or I go there. I go there.
The thing was, though, even when we had a little moment, it was short, and once it was over, we left it behind.
Yeah.
You know? We didn't, you know, we weren't caught up with it for the rest of the race or the rest of the leg.
And he's not the most threatening when he's angry. It's not like,
Stop this car, Vyxsin.
Stop it right
now.
Oh, no.
I'll jump out. I'll jump out.
You guys were the best dressed, which is so cool. And I mean, obviously, you have a very original look. So, I mean, was it hard for you guys to maintain a little bit of your look throughout the race?
Oh, absolutely. It was completely challenging. And I think mostly we did a pretty good job.
I agree with you.
We got a little melty there at points. Melty. We lost an eyebrow or two every once in a while.
It happens.
It was genuinely part of our strategy, too. I think that the hot pink outfits blinded the other teams and disoriented them.
Right.
So I had to keep them off of the edge.
So what you're saying is it was all strategic.
Well, this is what we do every day, though, so it's not just strategy. I mean, for us, every day is a fashion show.
Awesome. Did you get a plaque for this whole best dress thing and all?
We'd better. I need to call Phil. I haven't received
I'll call
our
for you
trophy
to get on
yet.
that. Phil, thank you guys for coming by. All right, now watch the remaining 4 teams on The Amazing Race Sundays at 8/7 Central on CBS.